Good morning, Niagara. You're tuned to Car Connection, where the coffee's hot, the tools are ready, and the talk is always tuned up. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you straight from the Car Connection workshop, where we mix a little humor, a little know-how, and a whole lot of horsepower. Here, it's not just about fixing cars. It's about keeping you rolling, saving you money, and giving you the confidence to understand what's under that hood. From the classics to the commuters, the weird noises to the what the heck moments, we've got you covered. So grab your coffee if you're sliding through the drive-through this morning. Well, welcome aboard and thank you for bringing us aboard. Double check your order before you leave the takeout window. Just saying, settle that cup of joe into your cup holder. Make sure it's locked and ready. Keep an eye on the other guy. Wake up your co-pilot if you've got one. Get them the crayons and the leaf bag so they can take some notes while you're driving and listening. And join the crew this morning because this is Car Connection, your Monday through Saturday morning pit stop for stories, smarts, a few good laughs. And I'm Niall Mortimer Jenkins, and we are shifting into drive this morning. Yeah, it's cold enough to freeze the knots off a tree out there this morning, so dress warm. It doesn't matter if you have a bad hair day because you were wearing a winter hat. It's okay. It really, really is okay. Because that's how, you can get away with, if the hair's not looking 100%, it's hat day. Yeah, absolutely. So stay warm. A couple of tips this morning right out of the gate. Windshield washer fluid. Let's make sure you've got that full extra jug somewhere in your automobile, but top that washer fluid bottle off under the hood before you get out on the roadways. Because in this type of weather, the splatter and the road salt is just insane. And you go through washer fluid like crazy. So, and also make sure you got your snow brush and that you take it in the house with you. Yeah. Or to work, like a friend. So that way, when you get out to your car, you don't have to use your hand or, a debit card to get you into the driver's side so you can rustle around and find your snow brush. I just have that habit. I take it with me and I set it where I know when I leave the door. In fact, if you went down into the breezeway, the entranceway to the studio, the shop studio, you'd see two snow brushes just gently placed by the door. So you're not tripping over them. Why is that? Because I found that to be the best way for me to remember that I need to bring my snow brush in, so it makes it easy to brush the car off and not open the driver's door and put a big splurp of whatever wet stuff on the seat so you can your bum can enjoy that ride, that wet ride all the way to work, wherever it is you're going. So just a couple of winter tips this morning, some things that will help. And yes, give your vehicle about 15-20 minutes to warm up a little bit before you take off. So as I always say, get the driver's door all swept off and cleaned up, get in there, get it started, put the heater on. Now take care of the rest of the vehicle all the way around. Let's make sure all windows are clear, not just a little opening. I've seen a few of those already this year. And it's like, you got to be out of your cotton picking mind. You can barely see where you're going and you're creating a blizzard behind you. Are you that lazy? Come on, folks. Let's pick it up. Life is now in session. Are you present? That's the question. After coffee. All right, let's jump in this morning and give thanks to those who make Car Connection possible, our YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook, Stevensvilleontheweb.ca, our iHeart radio broadcast, which is right here. You can get this podcast from any platform, Apple, Amazon. We're on all of them. Just type Car Connection Workshop in the search box, wherever you pull your podcast from, and we're right there. So we want to thank iHeart for doing that in our merch store. All these links are always in the description of our YouTube videos and also on the podcast. We archive the podcast as well at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. thermostats.com. That is the biggest toolbox drawer we have for you to utilize, where you can connect with us. You can visit our program partners and, know that you're going to be treated with the utmost honesty and respect. And also, that's where all our links are on the homepage, top right-hand corner. So to connect through YouTube, we have a lot of videos up there. I think we're well over 200 now, and we put 3 videos up every week. We're 2 weeks ahead of ourselves right now, which is fabulous. That takes a little bit of pressure off. So we're in good standing there with a series coming up in a week or so on, tire leaks. Seem to be common right now. I had a tire dropped off yesterday, and I thought, wow, this is a perfect opportunity to produce a couple of YouTube videos in 3 parts. So I like to be conscious of your time. So, not giving you a 52-minute video to watch. No, 15 minutes, 14 minutes, and you can go on to the next one if you have time. So we just made a 3-part mini series, how to fix a tire properly when they dropped it off. All I knew was it went flat while they were driving it, and there's 3 steps that I take before I give that tire back to the person who owns it, because they have a 3-legged car right now instead of 4. So apparently there's another leaker on the other side of the van. So I said, well, take this one back. This is good to go. But you got to watch those videos when they come up, because there is really good content right there to show you how we manage tires that are leaking, the right way to do it, and the right way to deal with a flat tire without costing yourself a ton of money. Wasting a perfectly good tire is not a good idea. That's money out of your pocket, leaking out of your wallet. All right, let's jump in. Say thank you to Total Freedom Darien Center, New York, and Total Freedom Sydney, Manitoba, Canada. That's 2 campuses available to Canadian residents. The campus in Sydney, Manitoba is for men only, dealing with addictions. No matter what type, style of addiction it is, they deal with it for over 20 plus years, going on 25 years, I believe. Your new life awaits you. So check in by clicking on the logos for any of our program partners, and that will open a full profile page and all the contact information for that place of business and profession is all in the same place. So no matter what logo you click on, the profile page is set up exactly the same way for every business, so it makes navigation easy. Top right-hand corner of the homepage at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com is where you will find all the links, including our merch store, so that you can become part of our Motormouth crew. Select the gear you like, the size, the color, and order it. Pay safely online. It gets shipped directly to your door by Freedom Expression, that have been doing a great job in helping us to develop a store where we sell merchandise, and proceeds go to help those who are struggling with addiction get into a campus and get that new life that waits them. Thank you to the Grimo family at Niagara Block, 5000 Montrose Road in Niagara Falls, building Canada since 1931. Building and hardscape landscaping products that will help to create that beautiful oasis, that escape in your backyard that you've always wanted. So connect with them at 905-356-2221 and begin to get things organized now, because you know what? Once we get through the month of January, which is only a day or 2 away from us here, you want to make sure that you're on the calendar for a landscaping company that you can count on to get the work done. At Niagara Block, they can provide you with all the insights to help you create that hardscape, landscape, escape area in your home, in your yard. But they can also make recommendations for companies that they know that you can count on to get the job done for you, and it'll look outstanding. And I've seen some of these outdoor spaces, and it's just, why would you want to go on vacation? You got an outdoor living space. a hangout space. You've got a kitchen outside and Barbie and everything you could ask for in one place. I think it's just absolutely a great place to hang out and de-stress. So thanks to Niagara Block for doing that and making all those services available to our listeners. Thank you to our certified financial planning professionals, Tony Miele, Larry Tetro, my personal financial planners and friends that I've known for well over 20 years. So I know if you're struggling with debt, you've got investments at the bank and they're not performing. I know that already. And you know what? You need to get that changed up right away because you're making a Ziploc bag of investment money and the bank is just crushing it. That's not right. Estate planning, you don't have any wills or powers of attorney. You do not do a will yourself, period. Just that's my advice to you. Do not try and save money and get a will kit. Because if you read the whole thing on the back page, it'll say you need to have an attorney check this. You've got to make sure that you have an estate plan. You've got kids. You've got a home. You've got a vehicle in the driveway. You got a checkbook. That's all estate planning, folks. And in the new year, we will have our certified financial planning professionals, Tony and Larry, with us on the air to share with you and answer questions. How cool is that? So I'll let you know when we have that all settled in. I'm just learning how to add more things into the podcast, which we were used to doing for 31 years on radio with Car Connection. So you need powers of attorney. You need a proper will and estate planning done so that it's locked down tight, that your final wishes are all planned out and you don't leave anyone in a mess. Mortgages, life insurance, critical illness insurance, that's all available to you. And if you don't have a financial plan, I have no idea how you're navigating through the economy that we're in right now. So available to you because Tony and Larry, they don't need any more customers or clients. They're busy as it is, but they've promised since 2007 when they came on board with us to help our listeners to get that discovery meeting. We call it an hour and a coffee so that you can sit down and get your questions answered from those who have the fruit on the tree. So if somebody's giving you financial advice and they're not standing where you want to be respectful, smile, nod, and run like Forrest Gump. Get out of there. Because you ever notice this? Even with cars, your neighbor, the person across the road, what's cool about where I am and the number of years being here, my neighbors actually have no stinking idea what I do. None. Zero. You know, the man cave, I don't just allow everybody and anybody into the I would call it the man cave studio. Because you know what, the eye don't see, the heart don't want. But my neighbors have no idea that they're living beside a master technician that can fix just about anything on the planet and what I do behind closed doors here in the workshop. And I just find that so cool. So you have the opportunity to get an hour and a coffee with two fellas that are certified financial planning professionals and get your questions answered straight up. That's where I was going with that. So none of my neighbors, I see them struggling with stuff, and I go, oh, do you need a hand with that? Oh, no, I got this. Okay, all right. You can handle it. That's all right. So give them a call and book your 1 hour and a coffee. This is where we can help you a great deal. How are you going to buy that next car? That's a topic we're going to cover in the new year. How do you plan for that? How do you put the money aside? How do you even get started? How do you create a budget that is money that doesn't go to the emergency pizza and chicken wing and beer night or that $600 pair of Levi's or jeans of some kind that have been pre-cut open and shredded? You got to have the money set aside, pay for car insurance, put gas in it, and maintenance and repair. So they can help you with that too, so that you have a plan. It's not that we plan to fail. It always seems as human beings, we fail to plan. So grab that hour and a coffee, but if you're just kicking the tires, please don't bother them because they don't need that. They'll be very polite and try and help you, whatever your situation and circumstance is. And there's no cost for you to that. It's complimentary because you're part of Car Connection. So get your hour and a coffee booked by Zoom. Call in. You can go to their office, meet at a coffee shop. They'll come to your home. Whatever you're comfortable with. I can't stress enough right here. If you're struggling with debt, you don't have an estate plan, you don't have a decent mortgage arranged, you have no life insurance, no critical illness insurance, you've got a portfolio at the bank that's making you nothing but a snack bag full of change while the bank is crushing it and making money on your money. You got to fix this stuff. Thank you to Rainbow Motors and Garage. Rita and Remiz are doing a bang-up job up there in Scarborough. Been a part of Car Connection for quite a number of years now. Sales and service that you can trust. They fix all years, makes, and models. You can purchase something there. If they don't have what you're looking for, let them know what you're looking for. They have the resources to find it, and they don't sell any junk. So you can buy a car there, get it fixed there. You can have your other vehicles repaired there. They fix every year, make, and model, including up to light commercial vehicles. So that's Rainbow Motors and Garage, Scarborough, Ontario. Sales and service you can always trust. City Auto Sales and Leasing, well, they've been around 25 plus years, and that's your new family to go and purchase a vehicle. I don't care if you got to drive 90 minutes to get there. You know what? You can buy with confidence and be treated with nothing less than honesty and integrity. That's how they've earned the Greater Toronto Area's premier pre-owned auto store title. And they don't take that lightly. Fair prices, quality vehicles, low mileage. They sell no junk. They do in-house financing as well. So good credit, no credit, bad credit. They can sit down with you and figure out how they can help you. But they will not let you go out the door car broke. That's your new family. They'll watch out. They'll watch out for you, make suggestions. City Auto Sales and Leasing, GTA's premier pre-owned auto store. And to our 2025-26 faith-based non-profit organization that's out there serving men, women, children, meals, love, and hope, changing lives one at a time in Niagara. That's Crystal Ridge Dream Center. In the times when community support is crucial, Crystal Ridge Dream Center shines as a beacon of compassion and transformation. Located at 385 Derby Road, they're back in full swing the 5th of January. 5th of January. They feed out the door about 200 plus people now, Tuesdays and Fridays. There's all kinds of programs running there for single moms, seniors. Those are going through hard times. For the children, they have an after-school program. It is just phenomenal what they're doing, and it's just great to be able to say we've come alongside, making people aware of what they're doing and what services are available to you at no cost. That's Crystal Ridge Dream Center, and I'd hope that you'd be a part of that somehow, either being a monthly giver, donating some gift cards from the supermarkets. That's a great help to them, and donating your time. You know, they're always looking to add more volunteers, but they do have like 61, I think, now. And I'll tell you, I have this past December, before Christmas, was invited to the annual banquet for all the volunteers. And I'll tell you what, every single volunteer at Crystal Ridge Dream Center is so excited about what they see going on there. So, you know what? Try and be a part of it. Whether it's a monthly giver or donating your time or, you know, signing up to be a volunteer. But when we come alongside programs like this, lives are being changed. All right, let's jump into our segment this morning, but another promo for the upcoming Fuel Savings Tips 30-day challenge. Are you up for it? Because here's what's going to happen. The first 30 days, we're going to show you where you're wasting money. You have to do your homework, but we'll have a process whereas you're going to track your fuel consumption. Then the following 30 days, you're going to make some changes that are costing you thousands of dollars in fuel every year, how would you, or let me ask you this, when was the last time you got $1,000 a year raise? How about $2,000 a year raise? No? I'm not hearing anything. Right. Exactly. That is the answer. How many of you know how much fuel you're spending money on that you don't need to buy in just 1 year? That's the 30-day challenge coming up in 2026. So stick around, stay connected. I'm going to help you, babies, give yourself a raise in 2026. But I'll be your coach, but you have to be the student. And remember this, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So that's coming up, something for you to jump on board, and that is going to put money back in your pocket like you would not believe. You will be absolutely stunned in the first 30 days how much money you're blowing out on fuel that you could be saving and putting back in your wallet. Hello? I'm on your side. I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to help you. All right, we're jumping back into our mini series that I've entitled Cooling System Maintenance or Catastrophic Damage. Exactly. So episode 1 has already aired. This is episode 2. It's looking like it's gonna be a 3-part mini series for me to be able to do justice to the information. I don't want to overload you with a lot of information because I know what that's like. Right now I'm learning new equipment that, it's not the same. It's kind of the same with broadcasting radio, but kind of not. It's a little more, I got to say, it's a little more high tech, and I'm doing my own editing and stuff like that. So there's lots for me to learn yet heading into the first quarter of a new year with bringing guests on, taking phone calls, all that. We're going to bring that all into the mix. And that way with podcasting, we're not dealing with circles of people like radio. We're dealing with north, south, east, and west, 360 degrees around this earth. Yeah. Sky's the limit. So we've already covered electrolysis and contamination. If you've missed that episode, you can go back and collect it on our podcast channel. Just go to all the links for you to connect, for you to be a part of Car Connection, part of our crew, get into our merch store. All of those things are on the homepage at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com, and I always include how you get there in the description. So today we can't go back and do a follow-up. If you missed it, you're going to have to grab that podcast and re-listen. Today we're covering inadequate pH level and pressure cap, what this all means. Because the cooling system, as I mentioned yesterday, and I'm going to continue to mention it on all 3 episodes, is if you have an automatic transmission, it's relying on your cooling system to prevent it from going into Chernobyl meltdown. Transmissions today, automatics, you're looking at upwards from $5,000 and up to rebuild one of those. Today's automatic transmissions have more wiring in that powers the space shuttle, and that's not a joke. If you could see it for 5 minutes, and we're definitely going to be shooting a video at one of my contacts in St. Catharines. I got to clear it with them first, but I want you to see what's actually in an automatic transmission, because it'll blow your mind. The amount of wiring and servos and solenoids, it's crazy. So if your cooling system's not working, you're cooking your automatic transmission. Just so you know, you're damaging both ends. You're cooking the engine and cooking your automatic transmission all at the same time because you don't understand the vehicle's cooling system and how important and how integral that is, and should earn the right to all the respect you can muster up, because when the cooling system's failing, you're ruining your automatic transmission all at the same time. So your drive line is going to hell in a handbasket. That's the easiest way to describe it. You're finishing it off all at once. Then what do you have? You just have a shell of a car. The motor's burned out, transmission smoke. What do you got? 4 rubber tires and some sheet metal. And when you see the size of the bill to make correction, that's when you have a holy crap moment. What happened here? So that's the whole purpose of this 3-part series, is that when you come out the other side of it, you'll have a whole new meaning on just how important your vehicle's cooling system is you don't wait till it blows up in your face for the system to say, hey, like we've had a problem for quite some time now, I got to let you know. Sorry you're going to be late for work today. Overheating an engine means you're also overheating your automatic transmission. So you're really doing a good job. So my job here is to make sure that you get a really good understanding. It's not just about putting antifreeze in there. It's not just about, oh, I think we're overheating, we better do something. Oh, there's coolant running down the driveway, we have a leak. This is where the cooling system has been dubbed the number 1 most neglected area on your automobile. And it is the number 1 piece of the pie that holds the whole shebang together. So if you're neglecting the cooling system and only getting work done on it when it blows up on you, then you're already damaging the 2 components that actually make up the car, the engine and the transmission. There's your driveline. When that goes out, your wallet goes out. Exactly. If you have any savings, it probably won't be enough for you to cover the damage. Let's jump in to number 3, inadequate pH level. What does that mean? We're going to unpack that. Inadequate pH level of the cooling liquid causes inner tube blooming. That's what the term is. That restricts flow and increases engine temperature. Prevent these conditions with proper cooling system maintenance. Blooming. What does that mean? You're a blooming idiot. I never knew what that meant. Blooming onion. I know what that is. I like that. But blooming in the cooling system means the tubes inside the radiator are getting plugged up with calcium. And calcium's hard. And you can't always just flush it out. And 99% of the time, you cannot clean that out. Not just with a garden hose. Sometimes you can send the radiator out to have it cleaned. And the radiator shops, which are fewer and far between now, you know, in the day when we had our shop on the Hamilton Mountain, we had a couple of radiator shops. In fact, we had one right in the one automotive plaza where we were all nestled in there together, where it was an automotive plaza. They could blow a lot of that out with using some acid. So I don't recommend that you try that yourself. But here's what happens. When the pH, when the chemical composition of antifreeze starts to drop off, and I'm not a big fan whatsoever of this lifetime antifreeze because it's a load of crap, period. I'm parking that on the side of the road. It is. We dealt with the lifetime radiator fluid back in like 1991, and it was crap then, and it still is now. There's no such thing. Your cooling system needs a once-over minimum once a year. Minimum. If you want to reach and be part of the 600,000 kilometer club, I'm giving you the insights as to how you can do it. You know how many thousands of dollars that saves you just in interest payments alone? A lot. A lot. So when the chemical composition of that coolant is falling apart, and pH, what we're testing for is the acid corrosion level, pH balance, and alkalinity. And on top of that, I'm saying last but not least, the boiling point and the freeze point of the antifreeze. Why did I say that last? That's what you should be asking yourself. Isn't that the most important part? Nope. The most important part is that the antifreeze has been blended and created with the correct acid corrosion levels, the correct alkalinity levels, the correct pH balance levels, and the correct mix. And that it's been blended with filtered water. You cannot use tap water. It throws the acid corrosion, alkalinity, and pH balances way out the door. Gone. You've created something else other than antifreeze when you do that. Yeah. It's got to be filtered water. And I have a system here in the Car Connection workshop that if we're topping off batteries, topping off cooling systems, pre-blending some antifreeze, the water that we use is coming through that purifier to do so. So isn't that interesting? Your cooling system is that sensitive to acid corrosion, alkalinity, and pH balance, and you can't use tap water to blend it. Isn't that interesting? Isn't it? That your vehicle's cooling system is that intricate. Should that tell you something? That it requires respect and attention and preventative maintenance? Absolutely. So the blooms are created by dirty antifreeze, contaminated antifreeze, water, tap water in the system, blended with the antifreeze. That's where the blooms come from. If the cooling system is clean, then the tubes in the radiator do not plug up. That's the point I'm trying to get to here. And you can take the radiator cap off, fellas, armchair warriors, and look in the top and go, yes, it's really clean. I can see the tubes are working. Well, if you can tell me the condition of my radiator by looking in the top, just in the top portion, the top row of coolant tubes, man, you ought to be working for NASA. Absolutely, because you have an ichrometer that is just so accurate. I can't stand it. Can I get your autograph? Radiators plug, you ready for this? From the bottom up, not the top down, fellers. The bottom up. Can you see those tubes? No, you can't, unless you cut the thing open with a Sawzall. So how do you know whether your radiator's in good shape? Well, I just opened the top there and I just looked in through the top. Oh, yeah, the coolant's moving. Well, how many tubes below where you can see are plugged up with bloom? There's my homework for you, armchair warriors. How do you know? How do you know? The only way you can really know is to pull the radiator out and send it out to have a professional flow test. Then they'll tell you it's restricted. But here's the deal. An engineer that I had about a half an hour conversation with a number of years ago, he said, if you want to get to 600,000 kilometers, every 100,000 kilometers, you take that radiator out and put a new one in. No questions asked. Can I save it? Well, maybe it might be a good used one. No, it's not. It's plugging up from the bottom up. By the time you notice that your engine temperature is climbing up a hair bit at a time, it's already the process of nuking your automatic transmission and taking life off of your engine, because heat is the enemy in anything mechanical, whether it's machinery, whether it's a big diesel truck or your little car. Heat is the enemy. Coolant has to be top drawer, not wondering. You know, it is not lifetime. And if you think that's the truth, then I feel sorry for you, because you're going to have cooling system failure from the inside where you can't see it. You are. It's not a matter of if, it's when. It's when. On my own vehicles, every 24 months, thermostat, flush it out completely, and put all new fluid in that's been pre-tested before it even goes in. I do not pour anything from a jug without testing it. And if you go into our YouTube channel, into the library, and you look up antifreeze testing, I did a test, and we recorded it in the early days of our YouTube channel. that'll blow your stinking mind when it comes to antifreeze. I pulled samples and I went out and bought antifreeze from stores. Yeah, from stores and tested it, and it doesn't pass the pH balance test. So can I put it in your car? I'm not putting it in my car. And I look on the due date because antifreeze is good for 3 years, 225,000 kilometers right on the label, and it's already 2 years old coming off the shelf. Make sense to you? No, shouldn't. It should not. So again, pH balance, brand new antifreeze. It failed the test. It failed the acid corrosion, pH balance, and alkalinity test. Right out of the jug, right off the shelf. And I grabbed a series of different antifreeze. 3 year, 225,000 kilometer. Yeah, passed. It didn't pass. It failed miserably. So, inadequate pH level is killing your cooling system, and it's something that has to be determined. It can't be by your ichrometer or sniff test or your eyesight looking at it going, yeah, that looks good. Watch that video on our YouTube channel. Yeah, because I got perfectly old antifreeze that looks like it's brand spanking new, but it ain't when you see the test results. So if you look at it and you can say, yeah, that's good antifreeze. Again, you need to work for NASA because they need techs like you. Number 4, pressure cap. You look at it and go, yep, it's there. But is it working properly? Is it releasing? Where did that come from? Releasing. Are you releasing your pressure? I don't know. The pressure cap maintains constant system pressure to prevent cooling liquid from boiling. Did you know that? These are engineers' notes. I requested from a company that I have bought so many of their products over the last 40 years. They sent me a little booklet with some information, and it's priceless. This little booklet is priceless. It unfolds, shows you the inner workings of a radiator, shows you what the algae blooms look like, shows you typical damage to a radiator, what that looks like. And these are the things that your service guy should be doing for you and making recommendations. And if they're not, then they're not doing the job fully and your cooling system's being ignored. And that's going to cost you big money. When the hammer comes down, it's going to be a bag of hammers. So the pressure cap works to maintain constant system pressure to prevent cooling liquid. What's the cooling liquid? Antifreeze. From boiling. Coolant needs to be circulated from the overflow reservoir to prevent air from entering the system. So the cap must be inspected on a regular basis. I have a test unit that I've had probably since about 1992. It's from Stant. And in my opinion, the number one company for putting out products for testing, checking, and verifying cooling system components. So I can, every time a vehicle come in, I test the radiator cap. Why do I do that? Why do I do that for you? It's just an automatic, a standard, what we call SOPs, standing operator program. Yeah, that's what we do, an SOP. Grab the radiator cap, test, whether it's a closed system, open system, or you have an overflow bottle, or you don't have an overflow bottle. There's everything in that kit to test every single style of cooling system, open or closed. And so the importance of that pressure cap, how important is it to the cooling system? Top drawer. It's got to be able to release pressure and apply pressure so the cooling system's running at the right pressure all the time. All the time, not sometimes, all the time. So your cooling system has to be wickedly accurate from the antifreeze blend and type to the thermostat, and we haven't even gotten there yet. Thermostat, the radiator, the coolant hoses, the heater core, all those things all work together. And again, you have an automatic transmission. Whatever's happening in the cooling system is happening to your mega buka bucks automatic transmission, because the lifeblood of the automatic transmission, called transmission fluid, flows through a cooler portion built into your radiator to cool the transmission oil. I can tell you this: when you come off the highway, winter, summer, or fall, or spring, that transmission oil is hot enough to cook French fries. How much hotter do you want to go before you're melting your transmission clutches and bands apart inside? How many of you, there's another test, we'll cover that in a series. How many of you have changed and had your automatic transmission fluid serviced? Oh, the dealer told me it's maintenance free, it's lifetime. These are the things we're going to cover off, because you know what? That's, in my trade, that's word salad by the sales guy. That's all that is. Word salad. The faster your car is destroyed, the sooner they make another sale. You got it? That's the formula. If they can convince you not to maintain stuff because things are longer life, maintenance free, lifetime, you don't need to do it. Change your spark plugs on the day that you really feel that you should, and forget about mileage. That's how you lose the game. They want you out of that car as soon as possible, back into debt to buy another one. That's the formula. See, the mice have to get smarter than the cat. And that's what I'm helping you with here. So I could go on for hours, because I can do a 2-hour show without even taking a breath. But I don't want to take much of your time, but I want to teach you if the student is ready. Right? When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Because here's the whole idea. So we have another episode to go. We'll cover maintenance and excessive external wear. We're covering all the components, because you really have to understand an automobile to understand how to make it last and how to get, I want to get you to the 600,000 kilometer club. Absolutely. And is it doable? Yes. We have a 100% success rate to those who've made the decision to get there. That's my answer. So I leave you with this. You don't know what you don't know. That's why you don't have. Because if you knew it, you knew you'd have it. And to know it, not do it, means you never knew it in the first place. So till tomorrow morning for another edition of Motor Mouth's Drive Time, come and visit at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning for segment number and episode number 3, your vehicle's cooling system. Not somebody else's, yours. We're talking about yours. And how well is it being maintained, and how well has it been getting serviced? Till tomorrow, keep it under 100. Happy, healthy motoring, and make it a super great day. Peace, patience, and kindness. We'll be back in the saddle tomorrow morning. Bye for now.